So family was out to dinner when their little girl started waving at a table where nobody was sitting. Mom asked, "Who are you waving at?" She said, "The ghost." They laughed. Because normally about this age, which is about 3 years old, little kids start having imaginary friends and start talking about ghosts and monsters. A little later, she starts laughing and pointing and waving again. "I see you waving at." "Waving at the monsters." "They're ghosts, you know," she says. So the entertainer's like, "Why don't you invite them over for playtime?" So she does. The little girl tells them, "Come over to my house." So they go home, days pass, everything's well, and she keeps writing on about her monsters, the little girl does. About the ghost. Even being funny when asked, is like, "What's the ghost look like?" And she's like, "Rrr. Looks like Elsa, my cat." "What do you mean about that?" Dad says. She says, "Well, she's black and furry." That's what the monster looks like, black and furry. This goes on for about a month. And finally, Dad's tired of it. Every time at bedtime, she's like, "The monsters are here. They're here. The monsters are here. They're gonna get us." Finally, one night, he tells her, "It's just to stop. They're imaginary. You know this. Stop doing this. You're really taking this too far." Of course, she's upset. He tucks her in at night. She rolls over and pulls the blanket over her head and starts crying. Because the little 3-year-olds, everything is real. They really live in a big fantasy world. The next morning, Dad's up drinking his coffee about 4 o'clock in the morning, reading the paper, sitting in his favorite chair in the living room, when he notices a shadow standing in the doorway. Now, he had yelled at his little girl the night before because he'd been seeing shadows out of his corner of his eye, but he's ignored them. But now he can't ignore this. He sits there in total terror as the shadow leaves the doorway and starts to approach him. Sitting there in fear and terror, he can't move. The shadow walks up to him, puts its hand on his shoulder, leans into his ear, and says the most terrifying one word he's ever heard. "Meow."